So, hello and welcome back to Burui, and the topic we're covering today is actually as interesting as it is confusing, I feel like. It's mass hysteria. Now, what does it mean? Is it maybe something in the line of the beautiful, amazing Black Friday sales that happen in the US? Or maybe something more like the iconic toilet paper hoarding that happened at the start of a pandemic? Yeah, remember that? That was 4 years ago. You're getting old. While these two do resemble mass hysteria, they're just not quite there yet. So, what is the official definition? Well, it's a condition affecting a group of persons characterized by excitement or anxiety, irrational behavior or beliefs, or inexplicable symptoms of illness. But that doesn't really make it easier to understand, I feel like. So instead, shall we take a short little stroll through history to find some examples and actually understand what it means. The dancing plague of 1518. So, in short, in July in 1518, in Strasbourg, which is now in Germany, then it was part of the HRE, something interesting happened. And it all started with a miss called Trofea, who started dancing in the streets, or at least something similar to dancing. Now, this might sound normal until you realize that she did it for nearly a week. And that's not all. By August, there were around 400 citizens of the town who were also inexplicably dancing. The doctors at the time blame it on hot blood, whatever that means. And they actually advised dancing as a cure. Yeah, a bit ironic considering it's a dancing plague. Anyway, the epidemic ended in September, so that's quite a long time for people to dance. And it's definitely one of the most popular cases of mass hysteria in history. You've probably heard of it. If not, now you have. But it's not the only one, and it's neither the most gruesome one, although it is the one with the most people involved and the most deaths involved. And it's not the most recent one either, for sure. The second case of mass hysteria on our list is the Salem Witch Trials. Now, although prosecuting witches was definitely not anything new or extraordinary in America in the 17th century, none were quite as memorable as the Salem Witch Trials. These spanned a few months in 1692, and they saw between 144 and 185 people accused of witchcraft, with 19 ending up executed because of it. But how is this different from your average Tuesday at the time, you ask? Unlike other cases where there were just sporadic accusations of people like, oh, you're a witch, and then everyone agrees, yes, they're definitely a witch because they can write. The difference here was that it was essentially an early version of Among Us, where no one believed each other and they all started throwing accusations of each other. At least they were very, very egalitarian. None of them cared about age, gender. None of them cared about social status. Everyone could be the imposter. Thankfully, as time went on, the situation eased out. Some people were unfortunately killed because of being witches, and the mass hysteria of Salem ended. What's a more recent and thankfully less gruesome example would be the 1962 laughing pandemic in what is nowadays Tanzania. So what started with just a couple of girls at a boarding school laughing uncontrollably soon spiraled into around 2/3 of the students experiencing not just uncontrollable laughter, but also other bizarre symptoms such as alternating between laughter and crying, but also just physical discomfort, fainting, and even rashes, which was completely unexplained. There were doctors, psychologists, scientists at the scene, and none of them managed to find anything out of the ordinary that could be the cause of this hysteria. Since the laughter epidemic showed no signs of stopping, the school was like, okay, what can we do? So they closed the school again. But this actually didn't end up helping, because then the epidemic spread to the nearby community for the course of 18 long months. So that was quite a long thing to experience. Now, thankfully, there were no casualties of this, maybe just a lot of confusion and a lot of discomfort from all of the laughter in these 18 months. But I guess at least you could probably tell a joke and you know someone would laugh. Now, why did these things happen? There's also a lot of other cases, you can look into them. But what unites them all is that there is no consensus among scientists and researchers about why exactly this happened. For the dancing plague of 1518, the causes range from food poisoning with fungus that grows on bread or on rye that's used to make bread, to just accumulated stress from how awful things were at the time. I mean, that I understand. Similarly, for the Salem Witch Trials, it could be anything from just ordinary diseases to LSD-like fungus causing it. So yeah, just take your pick for any of these, and that's the reason you can go with for it. So yeah, I hope this video helped you at least understand what mass hysteria is a bit better, and I'll see you next time.